Welcome to Little Hearts for Jesus, where children will learn stories of the Bible, saints, moral stories, and many other wonderful things. Please like and click to subscribe.
Hello, brave explorers of God's amazing stories. Today we zoom into the tale of the Prodigal Son, where a loving daddy shows us the biggest welcome home party ever. Imagine a sunny farm with two brothers and a dad whose heart is bigger than the sky, filled with fluffy white clouds and golden sunshine that warms everything it touches. What would you do if you could ask for anything right now, like a giant pile of candy or a super fast rocket ship? Let's find out how one boy's big mistake turned into Daddy God's warm hug that feels like the coziest blanket on a rainy day, with lots of giggles and happy dances along the way, kids. Can you picture the farm animals mooing and clucking hello?
Once there lived a rich farmer with two sons who loved playing in the fields all day long. The younger son, full of big dreams and wiggly energy like a bouncy puppy, ran to his daddy and said with sparkling eyes, "Give me my share of everything now, Daddy, please." The daddy's eyes grew soft and sad like a gentle rain cloud, but he nodded yes because he loved his boy so much he let him choose his own path. Kids, have you ever wanted something right away without waiting, like eating dessert before dinner? That choice started an exciting, bumpy adventure full of twists, turns, and lessons about love that we'll discover together, with silly sounds like whoosh and splat to make it fun. With money jingling in his pockets like tiny bells on a Christmas tree, the young son waved goodbye and skipped far away to a sparkling city with bright lights and yummy smells everywhere. He bought fancy clothes that swished and twirled, threw wild parties with music that went boom, boom, clap, and shared treats with new friends who laughed loudly like hyenas at a picnic. But soon the coins ran out like sand through fingers on a beach, and the fun friends disappeared too, leaving him all alone. What happens when we run away from home and love, little explorers? Let's keep watching with our eyes wide open and hearts ready for surprises. Hunger growled like a grumpy bear waking up from a long nap, making the boy's tummy rumble louder than a thunderstorm. The boy took a job feeding smelly pigs in a muddy field, and even the pig food looked tasty, like chocolate cookies he couldn't eat. He sat in the mud, dirty and lonely, feeling smaller than an ant, and thought hard with his head in his hands. Back home, even the servants have bread and warm hugs, he whispered to himself. A big idea popped into his head like a firework. Maybe Daddy would let him work as a helper. Have you ever felt so sorry you wanted to run back to someone safe and kind? The boy stood up, brushed off the mud with a big whoosh, and began the long walk home under a starry sky that twinkled like fairy lights. His heart pounded with worry like drums in a parade, thinking, what if Daddy is angry and sends me away? What if he slams the door with a loud bang? But each step brought him closer to love that never gives up, and he practiced his sorry speech over and over. Daddy, I was wrong like a silly clown who dropped the pie. Treat me like a servant, please. Little did he know, someone was already watching the road with joyful eyes that sparkled brighter than diamonds.
Far away, the daddy stood on the hill every single day, hoping, waiting, praying with hands folded tight, just like we do at bedtime. Suddenly, he spotted a dusty figure walking slowly, and his heart leaped like a happy kangaroo bouncing in the outback. He didn't wait, he ran as fast as the wind, even though daddies in that time never ran, because it wasn't proper. But this daddy ran with arms wide open like a giant eagle soaring, ready for the best hug ever. Kids, isn't it exciting that God, our Heavenly Daddy, never stops watching for us with a smile that could light up the whole world?
Before the boy could finish his sorry words, the daddy scooped him up in the biggest bear hug ever, spinning him around like a merry-go-round at the fair. He kissed his dirty cheeks with happy tears that fell like gentle raindrops, and shouted with joy, "My son was lost but now is found, like a treasure hidden in a cave." Servants brought the best robe that felt soft as clouds, a shiny ring that sparkled, and sandals for his tired feet. The boy's old rags flew away in the breeze. What a welcome! How does it feel to be forgiven before you even finish saying sorry, my little friends?
The daddy threw the biggest party with music that made everyone dance like silly monkeys, roasted meat sizzling on the fire, and sweet cakes piled high like colorful towers. My boy is home, he cheered so loud the whole village heard. Lights twinkled like stars come down to earth, feet stomped in rhythm, and laughter filled the air like bubbles floating everywhere. The lost sun smiled bigger than the moon on a clear night. This is Daddy God's welcome, full of joy, not punishment, with room for everyone to join the fun. Would you join such a party with high fives and cheers? But the older brother heard the music from far away and frowned like a grumpy cloud covering the sun. He stayed outside, arms crossed tight, grumbling, I worked hard every day and got no party for me. The daddy came out, gentle and kind like a soft breeze, and invited him in too with a warm hand on his shoulder. Everything I have is yours, my dear son, but your brother was dead in his choices and is alive again with love. Two sons, one loving father who has enough hugs for both. Which brother are you most like today, explorers? The one who ran or the one who stayed? The story ends with open arms for both boys, wrapping them in forgiveness that feels like the best present under the tree. Daddy God is just like that farmer, always ready to forgive, celebrate with balloons and songs, and love us back home no matter what. No mistake is too big for his hug that squeezes out all the sad feelings. Think about it. When you mess up and feel yucky inside, Daddy God is already running toward you with a smile as bright as the morning sun, ready to say, "Welcome back, my precious child." Call to action. Little heroes with capes of courage. Next time you feel far away or make a mistake like tripping over a toy, stop and turn around like a spinning top. Say sorry to God and to anyone you hurt with kind words that heal hearts. Then watch for his big welcome that comes with giggles and joy. Share this story with a friend who needs to know they are loved more than all the stars in the sky. God's party is waiting for you too, with dancing and treats for everyone who comes home. Dear Daddy God, thank you for always running to welcome us home with your big love and forgiveness that never runs out like an endless river. Help us turn back to you every day and forgive others too, just like you forgive us. We love you with all our wiggly hearts and promise to remember your hugs. Amen. And let's all give a big cheer together. Hooray for God's amazing love.
Thank you for watching Little Hearts for Jesus. Remember to like, subscribe, and share these stories with your family and friends. God bless you.